Hey, love. Welcome back to another self-love podcast, and welcome to a brand new series that's been on my heart for a while now. I've called it the Self-Respect series because if there's one thing I've learned lately, it's that self-respect might just be the most underrated form of self-love there is. We talk a lot about self-care. We talk a lot about self-love. But what about the gritty, unfiltered self-respect? The kind that shows up not in bath bombs and matcha lattes, but in the tough decisions, the boundaries, the slow, quiet, unglamorous moments where you choose you. The kind that doesn't always feel good in the moment, but builds a life you're proud of. This series was born from a recent chapter of my life, one that's been slower, more inward. Coming back from Thailand, I've been rethinking so much about what I say yes to, about where my energy goes, about whether I truly like the way I show up for myself, or if I've just been moving through the motions. And I keep coming back to one question. Do I respect myself? Not just when I'm doing well, but when no one's watching, when it's hard, when I want to give up, when the version of me I say I want requires more from the version of me that exists right now. So here we are, a new series, a soft reset, an honest check-in, and a powerful reminder that you don't have to be perfect to be worthy, but you do have to be honest to grow. Over the next few weeks, we're going to explore different layers of self-respect, the words we speak to ourselves, how we handle rest and resistance, the way we navigate our friendships and our goals, how we build confidence that's rooted in integrity, not comparison. This isn't a series about hustling harder. It's not about doing more. It's about honoring yourself better in ways that count. So if you've been feeling a little out of alignment, if you're tired of pushing, pleasing, proving, and you're ready to come back to you, this is for you. Take a breath. You're here. You're doing better than you think. In this chapter, it gets to feel different. Let's walk through it together. I respect myself enough to pause. I respect myself enough to choose. I respect myself enough to begin again. Welcome to the Self-Respect series. Let's start with something real. Most people think self-respect is just about not letting people walk all over you. It's seen as tough love, as boundaries, as saying no. And while yes, all of that is part of it, I think self-respect is softer than we realize. It's not always loud. Sometimes it's quiet discipline. Sometimes it's walking away from something with no closure. Sometimes it's staying in and cooking dinner when you feel pressure to go out and pretend you're okay. Self-respect isn't always about what the world sees. It's about what you know deep down that you need and whether or not you're honoring that. It's skipping the scroll and going to bed on time. It's unfollowing someone that doesn't sit right in your spirit, even if they're successful. It's choosing the version of you you're becoming over the version that's comfortable. Self-respect isn't glamorous. It's not always praised. It doesn't usually get applause, but it changes your life. Let me say that again, just in case you need to hear it today. Self-respect changes your life. Because when you start respecting yourself, you stop abandoning yourself. You stop leaking energy on things that don't align. You stop tolerating what you were only tolerating because it was familiar. And it's in that shift, the small but powerful moment where you decide to show up differently, that everything else begins to follow. I want to talk about self-respect in the way we don't always see it talked about. Not as some loud, bold declaration, but as quiet choices. The ones that sometimes confuse people around you. The ones that often come with no applause. When I first started 75 Hard, and especially when I made the decision to go alcohol-free, I don't think anyone in my life saw that coming. There was this unspoken expectation that I'd say yes, that I'd still show up to the parties and pour the drinks and laugh like everything was the same. But I had to say no, not because I thought I was better than anyone, but because something inside of me said, this just isn't it anymore. And I've learned that the right decisions don't always feel exciting. Sometimes the right thing is sad. Sometimes it feels lonely or misunderstood. But when you follow that gut feeling, that intuition, you're honoring you. You're taking the road less traveled, and yes, it's hard, but it's also where you find fulfillment. It's where your peace lives. Now, before that version of me existed, the one who listens to her gut, there was a different version. A version that people pleased, that said yes because I didn't want to make anyone uncomfortable. A version of me that tolerated things that didn't feel good, simply because I didn't want to have the hard conversations. I'd tell myself I was overreacting, that I should just stay quiet and keep the peace. But you know what I've learned? Keeping the peace on the outside while creating a war on the inside, that is not peace at all. Self-respect is when your inner voice finally gets the mic. When you stop gaslighting yourself and start trusting that your feelings, your discomfort, your boundaries, they're real, they matter. Now I want to shift into the everyday version of self-respect. Not the dramatic pivots or the big life decisions, but the small, intentional ways I choose to honor myself now. Because real growth shows up in the details. And for me, it looks like this. It looks like being active and fueling my body with real food. Because I love myself, not because I'm trying to earn worth. It means moving in ways that feel strong and empowering, but also knowing when to rest. It looks like treating myself without guilt, because sometimes honoring yourself means having the dessert and enjoying the moment. It looks like putting my phone on Do Not Disturb at night and not feeling bad about it, because boundaries protect your peace and sleep is sacred. It looks like not checking my phone first thing in the morning, giving my mind space to wake up before I scroll. I want to start the day connected to me, not the world's noise. And more than anything, it looks like taking breaks when I need them. Full stop. No justification, no shame. Just a deep breath, a pause, and the belief that I'm allowed to rest without earning it. These are the ways I talk to my nervous system. The ways I tell myself, you matter, you're safe, I've got you. Because at the end of the day, self-respect is a love language. And the more you practice it, the more it becomes second nature. Not a thing you have to fight for, but just the way you live. So, if you've been listening and wondering where to even begin, if you've been sitting with this and realizing maybe you haven't been treating yourself with the level of love and respect you deserve, here are 3 places to start. 1, audit what's draining you versus fueling you. Take 5 minutes today, seriously, just 5, Write down the things in your week that have left you feeling heavy, resentful, or exhausted. Then write down the things that you left feeling even slightly more energized, calm, or proud. It sounds simple, but when you see it on paper, you'll know exactly where to make your next shift. 2, commit to one non-negotiable for yourself this week. Not 5 things, not a whole new morning routine, just one small act that says, I respect myself enough to do this. Maybe it's a 10-minute walk. Maybe it's putting your phone away before bed. Maybe it's finally drinking more water. But make it yours and stick to it. Say no to one thing out of love for your future self. This one is big. Self-respect isn't just about what we do. It's also what we don't do. Say no to the plan you don't really want to go to. Say no to the person who always crosses your boundary. Say no to the version of you that keeps abandoning yourself for other people. Even one small no can create space for the real you to breathe. Self-respect isn't loud. It's not always glamorous. It's quiet, consistent, and deeply personal. You don't need to earn it. You just need to choose it in the little ways every day. Thank you so much for being here with me today. If this episode resonated with you, please take a moment to reflect on what self-respect looks like in your season of life right now. You deserve to show up for yourself with love and care, not someday, but today. I'll see you next time.